The sex trafficking trial of Sean Combs begins in New York next week. And just like his parties, I'm only going there to watch.
Sean "Diddy" Combs, the kid from Harlem, rose to become one of the most iconic superstars of our time. He transformed Bad Boy Records into a cultural powerhouse, launching artists like Biggie, Mace, and Faith Evans, shaping hip-hop history. In 2022, his net worth reached an impressive $1 billion. But recently, a lawsuit from his ex almost destroyed his whole empire. But how did it come to this? This all started in November 2023, when Diddy's former girlfriend and longtime protege, Cassie Ventura, filed a lawsuit. She accused him of rape, physical abuse, and years of control. This shocked the music industry. And the crazy thing was that the case was settled in a day without too much public noise. That single lawsuit lit a chain reaction, and many more cases started to appear. Cassie's lawsuit was just the first domino. In the weeks that followed, over 70 additional lawsuits poured in. Former employees, ex-partners, anonymous accusers, each telling a version of the same chilling story, that behind the champagne, the yachts, the Instagram perfect life was a man who used his power to hurt and take control. By September 2024, the government stepped in. A federal grand jury indicted Combs on 5 criminal charges: racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transporting individuals for prostitution. Prosecutors allege that for 2 decades, from 2004 to 2024, Diddy ran what they describe as a criminal enterprise, a network that used his celebrity status and influence to facilitate crimes, hidden in plain sight. Fans were shocked to hear what their favorite music star was doing behind the scenes. Everyone watched as federal agents raided his Miami Beach mansion in March 2024. Inside the mansion, agents reportedly found firearms, ammunition, drugs, and over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Prosecutors say those weren't just party supplies. They were tools for what they call freak-off parties. Yeah, you heard that right. Freak-off parties. According to the charges, these were not just harmless parties between adults. Prosecutors say they were violent, drug-filled events where women were tricked, or sometimes even forced, into sexual acts with male sex workers. Women were reportedly brought in by pretending it was a romantic relationship, then drugged with cocaine, oxycodone, and filmed without their permission. You may wonder what happened to those videos. Prosecutors say they were used to threaten, scare, and control the victims. And who was the mastermind behind it all? Prosecutors accused it was Diddy. Fans couldn't believe it. This was the man who danced in all the videos. The man who gave us "I'll Be Missing You" after Biggie's death. Who threw legendary white parties in the Hamptons, blending hip-hop and high fashion. He seemed to transcend scandals, even when whispers of violence or intimidation followed him. But this wasn't just celebrity gossip. This was a federal case with life sentences on the table. In January 2025, prosecutors added more details to the indictment. New victims, new incidents. One described being dangled over a balcony. Another claimed she was choked and hit. Former employees alleged they were forced to work grueling hours under threat of violence and for fear of losing their reputations. Then came the video. A 2016 surveillance footage showed Diddy assaulting Cassie Ventura in a hotel hallway. The footage showed him shoving her, throwing objects, and kicking her as she tried to escape. It was brutal. And a federal judge ruled it admissible in court. For many fans, it wasn't just shocking, it was a visual glimpse into the violence their favorite superstar had been accused of. Diddy said he was not guilty of all the charges. His lawyers said the sexual activities were agreed to by everyone, calling it a swinger lifestyle, and claimed the government was trying to make non-traditional sex seem like a crime. They said the freak-off parties were just fun between adults who agreed to it. But prosecutors pushed back, saying no one can agree to take part if they're forced or given drugs. Meanwhile, public support was practically non-existent. A few famous people quickly supported him. 50 Cent made fun of him online. Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane, who worked with Diddy on making the band, posted that she had been warning everyone for years. His mom, Janice Combs, was one of the few who defended him in public, saying people were making these claims out of greed. But the rest of the industry, they kept their mouths shut. And while most people stayed quiet, the media attention kept getting bigger. Two documentaries, The Fall of Diddy on ID and Diddy, The Making of a Bad Boy on Peacock, came out in early 2025, showing years of accusations. They included talks with old friends, workers, and people who accused him. One even claimed that in 1999, before his nightclub shooting trial, Diddy participated in a ritual sacrifice of a bird in Central Park. Now that was a wild story, which is a topic for a whole different video, but it caught the eyes of the public. And because of all this, legal problems started piling up. In November 2024, a judge said no to Diddy's $50 million bail request, saying they were worried he might mess with witnesses and put people at risk. Prosecutors said he broke jail rules by trying to scare witnesses while locked up and used his power to twist what people might say in court. His lawyers fought back, saying the government was going too far and that the Mann Act, a law about moving people for sex, had a racist history and was often used unfairly against black men. But the judges weren't convinced. His requests to delay the trial were denied. His attempt to block the Cassie video was also rejected. And his effort to keep out evidence from the Miami mansion raid was turned down too. Fans started to ask, is this the moment his empire finally falls? For years, Diddy seemed untouchable. He got through the 1999 nightclub shooting trial. He settled civil lawsuits and moved on. He even turned tragedies like Biggie's death into hit songs. But in 2025, things have changed. The industry isn't as forgiving now. But even if Diddy beats the case, can he recover? That's the million-dollar question. Because the charges have already tainted his legacy. Brands have pulled sponsorships. Collaborators have distanced themselves. Streaming services are quietly removing his name from playlists. The bad boy image, once synonymous with success, is now feeling darker than ever. But not everyone is convinced this is justice. Some fans say the prosecutors are going too far. Diddy's being made an example of, and prosecutors are trying to criminalize a lifestyle the public doesn't understand. They also say the Mann Act's history of being used unfairly against black men makes it a problem in this case. Even some legal experts wonder if the government can prove racketeering. After all, running a record label isn't a crime. But for others, this case feels like justice that's been delayed too long. They believe powerful men in entertainment have been protected for years by fame, money, and NDAs. They say people weren't clueless about Diddy, they were part of the cover-up. And maybe that's what hurts fans the most. Diddy wasn't just a musician. He was a symbol of possibility, a testament that a black man from Harlem could build an empire, cross over into mainstream culture, and rewrite the rules. And to see that legacy potentially built on the backs of abuse, it hurts. And Diddy's silence on all of this speaks volumes. Apart from court filings and lawyer statements, he hasn't spoken directly to fans. No interviews, no apology, just silence. And in an era where silence equals complicity, many fans have made up their minds. So what happens next? The trial starts May 5th. It's expected to last 8 to 10 weeks. There will be no cameras in the courtroom. Jury selection will screen for bias around sex, drugs, and violence. The prosecution team includes Maureen Comey, who helped convict Ghislaine Maxwell. Diddy's defense team includes Brian Steele and Mark Agnifilo, famous for defending celebrities in tough spots. But the stakes are higher than ever. If convicted, Diddy could face a life sentence in prison. But if he doesn't get convicted, the court of public opinion may still never forgive. And the biggest question fans keep asking isn't only that, is he guilty? It's deeper than that. Was it all fake? Was the mogul who danced in shiny suits, who told us to vote or die, who stood on stage shouting, "Can't stop, won't stop"? Was that the real Diddy? Or was it just a mask hiding something darker all along? In the end, this isn't just about Sean Combs. It's about the entertainment world, about whether fame can still protect men from facing justice, about whether an empire built on power and charm can handle the truth. Because no matter what the verdict is, the fall has already started. I hope you liked our video. If you want to hear more celebrity stories like this, consider subscribing. In the meantime, what do you think about Diddy? Let me know in the comments below.